Hey everyone, this is Brittany here from Surfing Waves of Light, coming to you live from the bus. Sorry that it's been a while since I posted a video. Summer has come on very strong here, and I notice it always takes me a little while to adjust to the energies, the heat, and all that comes with the beautiful summer months. I felt inspired to channel a video today, so I'm going to bring my guides through and we'll see what they have to say. Hope that you're having a wonderful summer wherever you are, and sending you lots of love from here. Greetings, dear beings. We are the Arcturian Council, and we are ever so pleased to be with you today. This being, as she transforms into her channeling state, knows that we are more present within her because she can feel her energy being uplifted. She can feel herself happier, and she can feel supported more fully and consciously by all the love that surrounds her. Yes, surrounds her always, but she only taps into when she takes the time to ground and center and bring us through. We are the Arcturian Council, and you may notice that as we come through this being, a slight smile appears on her face. You may notice that her facial expressions relax, and that she comes more fully into a peaceful, tranquil, and serene state, one that is required to bring us through, and one that we, like a circle, continue to facilitate, because that is the energies that we are. And so as we walk with her through this life, we find that the energies right now are both uplifting and quite challenging. There are many of you who are feeling uplifted and succeeding and having openings with the beings around you when it comes to these spiritual topics and discussions. And then yet there are some of you who are facing other beings who are not quite as open, ones that are finding their way there and yet still a bit in the dark around what it means to be spiritual and what it means to connect within, to know oneself and to know the spirit guides that lead you through this life and lead them through this life. And we want to shed some light on this today. For spirituality in your culture, especially the Western culture, is what we speak about, is the experiences of this being. There has been much darkness tied in to spirituality here on this side of the planet. And so when it comes to spiritual topics, many beings who have been injected with guilt and fear and shame around spirituality, they are already full of these emotions and energies, and there is no room for that anymore. And so for these beings that you may encounter, we say to you, leave spirituality out of the conversation. Be spirituality by holding spaces of complete unconditional love and non-judgment, and show up every time, not needing to speak of how spirit inspires you or how you can speak the words of your guides in a trance state. No, just tell them through your actions what spirituality really is. And being spiritual on this plane, we say, is embodying the universe, God, whatever you believe in fully. And that full understanding that there is nothing out there but true, unconditional, unjudgmental love. Love in its highest form. Love not in the distorted expression. Love that is endless, boundless, ever expansive, and growing every day as you all continue to raise your vibrations bit by bit by bit, day by day by day, as you move through these energies and the challenges present on your physical plane. We give you all so much credit, for the challenging aspects of these energies are quite challenging. You see, you are all up-leveling. You are up-leveling into the next level of consciousness, into a higher plane. And so a lot of the lower frequency emotions and ideas, which we could amount to as the shiz that you have engulfed through your experiences on this journey, many of the darkest and lowest forms are coming up. You may find at this time that your thoughts can be quite heavy. Thoughts of doubt, thoughts of weakness, thoughts of shame, thoughts of not being good enough. You may find these are very present on the surface. You may find yourself being much more easily triggered with new beings coming into your life, feeling a bit defensive or unsure about what it is that you are supposed to be doing. We say that before the big changes, before being stepped more fully into an action-based state of spirituality on this plane, much of the time what occurs first is a long period of nothingness. Nothingness in that you will still have your job and your friends and your situations, whatever they may be, but you may feel a lack of passion, a lack of interest, feeling just a bit less secured or happy by these situations, feeling more in the lost, in the I don't know what I'm doing here, I don't know what my purpose is, I have no idea what is going on. This is quite normal, dear beings. Many of you are stepping into your action-based roles of spiritual healers, of spiritual holders, of energetic transformers on this planet, whatever the space and time or job you may hold. And so we are facilitating energies that withdraw you a bit more from the physical world, from the conditions of life that you have been expected to experience through your upbringing. We are helping to rein that back a bit so that you can become more aware of your spiritual selves, so that you can sit in quiet, so you can sit in meditation, so you can sit in self-reflection with us without feeling those feelings of missing out or feeling like you're not living your life to the fullest. Because as we've dulled the excitement around the normal day-to-day life, there is this in-between time of unsurety, but we assure you that this is completely normal. We assure you that as you move into your higher dimensional consciousnesses, it is very much similar to a young male or female who begins to go through their adolescent, pubescent phase. There's sort of a spiritual puberty that is occurring. There is some awkwardness. There is some lack of understanding of what you are to become. As a young girl, you cannot know what it means to have breasts in full or expressions of potentially having children through gaining a period and all of the things that come with it. It is very much terrifying. It is very much confusing. It is very much a consciousness of not knowing what to expect. And because you are all at this consciousness, it would only make sense that you could not fully see what the next consciousness and the next consciousness and the next consciousness will bring. For so many ideas in this realm of time, of space, of how things occur are so regimented. And when your thoughts are so regimented, you do not allow us to come in and assist you with the miracles that are your right, to assist you with what is yours as your birthright, because your ideas are so sure in what they must do. For example, if you surveyed the average being on your planet in this area of where this being lives and asked them how you got a house, they would say to you, you work hard for money and you buy one. And of course, this is an option for getting a house, and we honor everyone's free will here on earth. But we want you to know that there are other ways to receive houses and cars and spaces to work or love. And this is something that we want you all to open your mind to. We want you all to begin to release your attachment to how things must happen, and know that this dulling, this lack of interest, this sort of what am I doing here feeling is to help facilitate that. It is to help reel back the conditioning that is so strong within you, to help you to open up more and be more willing to receive. Be more willing to receive the gifts that are yours. And so some of you may look at beings who are more grounded in this world of normalcy, of money and jobs and life, and see that they have so much, and that working hard and going to their 9-to-5 jobs over the past years and days and decades has really paid off for them. And this, you can send them so much love. And you may wonder, why do they not feel how I feel? Why are they still feeling quite full steam ahead, loving what they do, purpose intact? Well, dear beings, this is because that is their path. That is their role on this plane. Their role at this time is to continue on in that structure. And for those of you who are feeling wobbly, unsure, or like you don't know what is going on, like you can't attach to anything and feel like you're floating around just doing things for money or time or expression because that is what comes, not so much because your soul speaks it. You are the bridge creators. You are working on transitioning the gap, bridging the gap for all beings, and that is your role at this time. So many of you who are not so sure-footed in the more typical expression of adulthood in society, you are feeling this awkwardness, this unsurety, and building bridges are always a bit awkward. They're always a bit unsure. You are looking at two different shores, two different sides of land separated by water, and water is so flowy, it is so deep, it is so encompassing. And as you are finding your way to bridge from that disconnect, there is much navigation to be explored, to be figured out, paths to be created by you, to take your knife and to cut away the weeds that are blocking this new path that has never been seen before. Because you, dear beings, are the seers. Your role on this plane is not to make lots of money through traditional jobs. No, your role on this plane is to show others the way by leading by example, by bridging this gap, by exploring the water that separates these two islands, navigating the reefs and the waves and the currents, and finding the easiest path for others. Even though you may hit the reef, you may get stuck in a current, you may have to encounter some big waves, because you are doing the work for the collective and for yourself. And that is the journey that you decided to come on. And so we just want you to know that if these hard thoughts are coming up right now, or this lack of passion and interest, do not worry, Do not fear. Just allow. Allow yourself to see yourself in these harder expressions, these harder emotions, these harder thoughts, because these thoughts, these emotions, these expressions, this is the dirt and junk and garbage that has been within your mind, body, spirit complex that we absolutely need to clear at this time. And for us to clear it with you, we need you to see it. We need you to see it. We need you to even bask in whatever lower frequency emotion that is. That unsurety, that jealousy, that resentment, that hurt. We need you to bask in it. We are bringing these things up for a reason. There is a lesson there, and while in this moment you may not understand why that happened or why that feeling is coming up, we ask you, as we always do, to trust us, that we do not bring anything up into your attention and awareness that is not in the highest good, that is not for clearing. And this transition to a new earth is still quite young. It is still very young, and so there is a lot of pain and suffering that needs to be cleared, and that comes when you are moving from an older structure to a newer, more loving structure because of the attachments to the old structures. And so as the bridgers, as the light bearers, as the way showers, we are pulling you back into a state of neutrality, into a state of lack of attachment, so that when you do spot the next leg of the journey, the next island, the next place, that passion will come. It will fill you up. There will be nothing, no lowered emotions blocking your way. And it will be so clear to you where the next step is for you. Do not fear that inspiration is not always there in full, because it is not always the time yet. Clearing comes to make space for that inspiration, so that when it comes, there is nothing blocking your way. We want you all to be as full of light as possible. And to get light in, we have to push the darkness out. And without you all really being conscious of it, you have been shoved so deeply full of darkness, of unloving thoughts and ideas. And that is why you are on this journey. You are here to clear out the dark and to bring in the light and to show to yourself and others that the love of the universe is so encompassing, is so great, that no matter how much darkness gets programmed into a being, love will always find its way. And that is the beauty of the journey here, because you are love at your core. And no matter how dark an emotion, a thought, a feeling, even ones that grasp onto you and seem to hold you for hours or days, that you cannot shake in meditations or in situations, no matter how long these thoughts, feelings, and emotions can be within you, they are not you, and they are going to clear. And so we just say, be loving to yourselves. Hold that same unconditionally loving space that you do for the newer spiritual seekers or ones who are not ready yet to know this. Hold that for yourself. And know that the clearing work you are doing, it is rippling out exponentially into the universe. And there is so much momentum building. And even though the dictates of the traditional system are still in place, they still have networks and quite a stronghold, it is growing weaker every day. But it cannot fail until you are all ready to hold that space for others. We do not want to see systems crashing and beings dying or suffering in immense ways because they are so addicted and so attached to that system. We need you, beautiful light showers, way seers, to create the network of love that will be the soft and beautiful safety net that comes and holds all beings that are around you when these more traditional systems start to fail on an increasing level. We do not see any need for a terrifying or scary transition here. We do not see any need for bombs or darkness or all of these different scenarios that sometimes come out in predictions of how the change is going to occur. What we see is just how Moses was able to make the ocean stand up and create a nice path through this huge ocean for the people he was leading into the light. We see the same for you. We see a smooth, a beautiful transition, one that is full of love, one where those who have been suffering for ages and ages actually get to be greeted by this newer way of things, like they are going down a slide. The system in place now, you're constantly climbing up, needing insurance and needing to work all the time and needing to do this and that and the other thing. But when they do transition over and when they are ready, because you have created this nice and easy path for them, they are going to slide down into unconditional love, into your safety net. And because you created that path for them, there will be not one single shred of doubt that a loving system, that a loving way is the way that they, with their free will consciousness, will want to hold, will want to choose, will want to help to facilitate. And once we are at that point, dear beings, you will never feel a moment of lost. You will know how purposeful all of these confusing, pubescent, adolescent spiritual moments have been. And you will thank yourself for being willing to bear the discomfort of them in the meantime. We are the Arcturian Council. We are so full of love. We are with you all the time. We are the butterflies. We are the bees. We are the sand. We are the oceans and the pelicans. And so we ask you to put on your perception of us so that you can fully see us, so that you can fully know that we are with you and we are surrounding you, and you can bring us in just like this being can, because we are accessible to each and every one of you in your own way. And we want you to feel supported and uplifted in these rather confusing times that are on your planet. We love you all so very much, and we will speak to you again at another time. Thanks, everybody. Looks like I was facing a different way. But you know, that's how it goes. So I hope you enjoyed this video and it brought you whatever you needed today. Love you all, and yeah, speak to you again soon in another time.